Hey you, yeah you. Are you new to government contracting and you've been pursuing service-based contracts via SAM.gov, where you put in countless hours of assembling your team, putting together your responses to those RFPs, only to find out you didn't win and you're feeling that the system may be slightly rigged against you and you're just chasing your tail? Well, hey, don't give up. There is a better option, and it's called selling products to the Defense Logistics Agency, better known as the DLA. Hey, I'm the DLA guru, and I've been in this space for the past 20 years, and I put together a fantastic YouTube channel that's packed with information and hacks to give you some insight on how to position yourself to sell to the DLA. Take a look at my channel and subscribe today. Grand rising, grand rising, grand rising. The DLA guru is back in the building, Yes, indeed. Yes, I'm back in the building. And today I'm very, very excited about today. Today is my bi-scheduled, bi-monthly scheduled live stream for my Brigadier Generals and my Patreon members. Yes, today is your day. Members only. We're going to be basically doing a deep dive, closed circuit over here in StreamYard. For all of you who are part of my Brigadier General and Patreon community, where we'll be able to cam up and mic up to discuss anything and everything related to the DLA. We'll be talking about DLA solicitations, DLA opportunities, national stock numbers, basically any type of strategy, just whatever's on your agenda. Today is the day to talk to me, yours truly, the DLA guru. We'll basically be able to provide some training and closed circuit, and you'll have me for 2 hours, roughly approximately 2 hours, in order to talk anything and everything related to the DLA. But before getting into today's training with my Brigadier Generals, yes, today is public forum. I have a fantastic presentation, as you guys can see in the subject, the title of this particular presentation: how to find winning dropshipping products for government contracting with the DLA. And, that's a lot of folks reach out to me. They're always asking questions like, hey, what's the best product to sell? What do you recommend? Where should I go? Hey, just spill the beans. Give me some help in trying to figure out this vast landscape of DLA opportunities, because yes, DLA, they buy a lot of products. And today is, hopefully we'll be able to shed a little light on some of the strategies that our company employs that may be able to provide some assistance with you and your business as you're pursuing government contracting opportunities to sell products to the Defense Logistics Agency, the world's largest customer. All right, but before getting into today's presentation, yes, of course, I wanted to just talk a little bit about today's topic, of course, how to find winning dropshipping products. A lot of folks, again, it's just like, even if you're into like SAM.gov and you're looking to do service-based contracts and product-based contracts with the federal government, it's always, how do we win? What is the best type of contract to go after? So again, today is the day for that. Now, if you are new to me, new to my content, feel free to subscribe to the channel, because you have to be a subscriber in order to drop any comments in the comment section of this particular live stream. And again, it's just for all of my subscribers out there that show a little love to the DLA guru. That's what you'll have to do. So feel free to drop any comments. As I go through my presentation, I'll be able to field comments and be able to answer them on the fly. So feel free to drop a comment in there. And I always love the engagement. But again, before getting into all that good stuff, a lot of folks say, hey, you know what? I'm new to you, new to your channel. Who are you? Well, my name is Kiwi Hendricks. I am the U.S. government sales manager with the National Material Supply Company. I've been in the federal contracting arena for the past 20 plus years, and I've been servicing the U.S. military by way of the Defense Logistics Agency. And I've coined the name the DLA Guru for many, many reasons. One, because I've skipped my knee, bumped my head, and had enough wins and losses to basically say that, hey, I think I know exactly what I'm talking about. I've been in this business for quite some time, and I've coined the name of DLA Guru. So hopefully my channel will shed some light to both empower and inspire you for success with the world's largest customer, the Defense Logistics Agency. So welcome to my channel. Looks like we have 10 concurrent viewers in the building and 2 likes. Hey guys, get those likes up. We got to get the algorithm stoked. YouTube loves the likes, and of course, I definitely love the likes and any engagement that you want to shed or throw my way and shed a little love, shed a little light on yours truly, DLA Guru. Because yes, I am here in these YouTube streets. And hey, we got a comment that just came in here. Let's go ahead and field that comment. I love some comments, man. So we got brother Adrian in the building. Hey, welcome back, Adrian. I think you were in my last live stream. He says, what are you cooking today, Mr. DLA Guru, in these YouTube streets? Yes, yes. What am I cooking today? Hey, Adrian, I'm glad that you're here and be able to receive some of this great content today, man. I think it's definitely going to help you as it relates to your DLA journey. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show for sure. But you will see, man, got some good stuff brewing here. As I mentioned earlier, hey guys, you got to subscribe to the channel. If you're trying to send me a comment and you're like, the comment's not going through, hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything, and it means a ton to me, and it helps to grow my channel so that my message can get out to a broader audience, because a lot of folks just don't know anything about the DLA. Hey guys, if you are learning a little bit about this today, you are one of not many who know about government contract with the DLA. And today's presentation is going to really shed some light into how small this community of federal contractors is. And I just want to get the word out so more people can take advantage of this great agency in order to do business with. And of course, hit the like button. Looks like you got some likes coming in. All right, so likes are kind of coming in here. Thank you for the likes, and feel free to share this video. Share any videos that you see in my catalog with friends, family, and business colleagues, because hey, man, getting the word out is the key to the game, in my opinion, of getting the word out about the DLA. And hit that notification bell, because you don't want to be a day late or a dollar short whenever I drop relevant content that's here to empower and inspire you for success with the DLA. So thank you for that. Now, today's today's presentation, the live stream agenda, brother Adrian, we are going to be talking about how to find winning dropship products. And by the way, before getting into the presentation, if you are a brigadier general or a Patreon member and you're kind of tuning into this, feel free to click the community tab here in YouTube, and you will have a link that's unique just to my brigadier general level members only. It will bring you over here in StreamYard. I'll have you here in my waiting room as I get through this public presentation. And once I have a quorum of folks, maybe 2 or 3 brigadier general and Patreon members in my StreamYard waiting room, that's my signal to go incognito, so that we can talk everything related to what's keeping you up at night as it relates to your DLA journey. And if you are a Patreon member, that means you have graduated from one of my illustrious DLA contracting courses, and you've been requested or invited to join us in the Patreon community. You will also find your unique StreamYard link in the community forum tab in Patreon as well, to have you come over here in my waiting room. All right. So now, why are we here? We are here to find out how to win with the DLA, right? And so, something came across my, my email the other day, and it was an article that was talking a little bit about consumable products. So the DLA, they procure consumable products. That means repeatable products. They're not just one-time buy organization. They're buying products to support the U.S. military. So if you can kind of think food products, clothing products, you're thinking, military vehicle spare parts, you name it, the DLA buys. And so they're buying them again and again and again, typically very long contract vehicles. The DLA has national stock numbers in which they manage. There are over 5 million national stock numbers within the DLA's database of products that they buy. They have over 100,000 solicitations at any given moment on their DLA internet bid board system, and they're awarding roughly 10,000 contracts, product supply contracts, every single day to businesses like you and I, in order to support that of the warfighter. So keep that in mind. DLA procures consumable products. So that means this is a repeatable business. This is a business that has legs. This isn't a one-time buy kind of thing, right? A lot of times those service-based contracts, which are great, you get involved and you'll have, maybe 3-5 year performance periods, but who knows when the federal government may buy that particular service again. They may just need to get that driveway paved, and they may not pave it for another 10 years, but the DLA is buying every single day products. So it's really about you figuring out what are some of those winning products and how to get your company around within the conversation of those products. And this is what, my channel is all about, and what being involved with the DLA is all about, right? So keep that in mind. Number one, they procure consumable products. All right. Number two, the article that I was reading talking about consumable products, they were talking about this huge award that happened recently. I think it was like a couple of days ago. The DLA awarded $100 million long-term contract to a few companies, just a few companies. And I wanted to kind of do a deep dive into that because the companies that are winning these contracts are winning them over and over again. So you have to know kind of how to do an analysis to figure out, one, who those companies are and what those products are and how you might be able to have a seat at the table to compete with those companies. And this is fantastic. The article that I read was in the Defense Daily. And I'll go to that article in a second, and we're going to be talking a little bit about those companies in a second here. Hey, we got a comment that just popped up here. We got Brother Charles in the building. Thank you, Brother Charles. Appreciate it. He said, let's go. Yes, let's go, man. Let's learn a little bit about how we can do business with the DLA, you know, how we can all collectively figure this thing out, because the DLA spends over $50 billion a year. That's billion with a B, 50 billion. And hey, it's time for you and I to get our piece of that pie, right? And so that's what this whole channel and my whole message and my whole mission is all about, guys. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into this article real quick, because I got really, really excited when I saw this article. So Defense Daily, and you know, there's a bunch of different publications that are out there on the internet that kind of showcase a lot of these types of contract vehicles that are out there. But I'm just going to just do a little bit of a reaction to this, you know. So contract award, and there are three companies in particular that won this contract. And for those of you, my DLA Vendor Network winners, you guys know, I'm sure you know, it's like a household name for you. This company by the name of Atlantic Diving Supply Incorporated. All right. So that's one of these companies that was on this contract award for $100 million. Right. And then we got, of course, Noble Supply and Logistics. Okay, I'm just going to highlight that. And let me make this a little bigger for those of you in the back there. But Noble Supply and Logistics is another juggernaut when it comes to winning DLA contracts. And last but not least, and you guys are probably seeing this for those SAM.gov type folks that are out there, SupplyCore. SupplyCore does a lot. They do numbers as it relates to government contracts, not only with the DLA. I mean, these guys are winning contracts with the GSA. They're winning contracts with the Department of Energy, all types of federal agencies, including that of the DLA. These three companies are companies that I highly recommend you guys put on your radar screen and do the analysis. And we'll be doing a little bit of that analysis in today's presentation. Let's see here. Reading the article, they're saying Atlantic Diving Supply and Noble Supply and Logistics and SupplyCore, they got a maximum $100 million firm fixed indefinite delivery, indefinite quantity contract. So that's an IDIQ contract. So that $100 million isn't necessarily money spent, but that is what's been allocated by the DLA to these companies for U.S. military to buy what? What are they buying? They are buying, and by the way, here's the solicitation number, and you can fact check a lot of this stuff. You can go to FPDS, drop this solicitation number in there, as well as these contracts as well in FPDS, and you can find out a little bit more about these particular contracts in particular. But for the sake of today's training, you're saying, what in the world is the DLA having a $100 million contract for? And it says it's for commercial, repair, and operations products. And repair and operations products, or repair and operations equipment, the acronym in this industry is called MRO. Industrial MRO supplies is basically what this $100 million IDIQ contract vehicle is all about. And the biggest company in the United States, in my opinion, that's all they do is MRO type products, is who? Grainger. So if you guys, you know, see a lot of my videos, I'm always talking about Grainger as a way kind of to just scratch the surface, or not scratch the surface, but that's kind of an entry point into figuring out what types of products the DLA buys. They buy industrial maintenance, repair, and operations equipment to the tune of a maximum of $100 million, right? Now, this says, going on with this article, it says this was a competitive acquisition with 15 responses. All right. So you had 15 different companies. Our company was not one of the companies that bid on this particular contract. But there were 15 different companies that bid, and they had, you know, 3 companies that they awarded these contracts to. It says these are 3-year base contracts with 2 1-year option periods. Locations of performance. Now, this is really interesting because keep in mind, the DLA is not all about the US. The DLA is shipping products globally for the warfighter. All right. So they're saying Bahrain, Egypt, Iran, Iraq, Israel, Jordan, Kuwait, Lebanon, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia. In other words, they're just talking about the Middle East. So they are basically saying, hey, we got this contract vehicle that's going to be in place for the next 3 years, and we are going to be supporting our troops and also other agencies that the DLA supports in the Middle East. So you, as a US-based company, would be shipping products globally in support of the DLA to all of these countries in particular, right? And it says here, with an October 14th, 2027 ordering period end date. So basically, the warfighter has until October 14, 2027 to spend $100 million buying industrial MRO products and supplies, all right? Just just kind of stew on that for a minute. That's pretty awesome, right? And so if you're thinking about what are winning products, these are the winning products that you want to get involved with the DLA, all right? You want to get involved with industrial maintenance, repair, and operations equipment because the DLA is buying. And these products are just earmarked for the Middle East. But guess what? The DLA has operations globally as well as here in the United States. So that's, this is just kind of scratching the surface as to like giving you a little bit of a window into what are some of the great type of products to get involved with. Grainger.com. Go check out that website, peruse it, get an account set up with Grainger because, in my training programs, I talk a lot about how you can leverage an opportunity of being a reseller of Grainger products to that of the Defense Logistics Agency, as well as other federal agencies. So highly recommend that you get involved with Grainger, especially if you're new to government contracting. It's a great place to start for so many reasons. And I have some more videos in my catalog where I do a more in-depth review about Grainger.com. So I think when you go into my the homepage of my channel, I think you can just type maybe you can type Grainger and maybe one of my videos pops up. But if you're interested in talking a little bit more about Grainger, feel free to shoot me an email. Of course, just shoot the DLA Guru an email and say, hey, DLA Guru, I'd like to learn a little bit more about Grainger.com and your experience and how we can get involved with Grainger. Just hit me an email here at fed.contracting@nmsupply.com, and I'll be able to shed a little bit more light on that, especially if you can't find the video in my catalog. All right, cool. So now you're saying, well, how in the world does knowing this information help us? How do we position our companies to be, to capitalize on this type of information? I'll tell you how. All right. So my goal and what I always promote with student clients is you want to study. Now, the idea, you don't want to have analysis paralysis where you're just always studying all the time and you're not getting into the game. You want to get into the game and study at the same time. So you want to study the incumbents. In my opinion, these 3 companies that they were talking about, Atlantic Diving and Supply is an incumbent. These guys, I haven't done the research to find out exactly how much money how much business they're doing with the federal government on an annual basis. But these guys are in the tens of millions of dollars worth of contracts, and guess what? They are small businesses. Atlantic Diving and Supply is a registered small business. Their cage code on screen there is 1, C as in cat, A as in alpha, Y as in yellow, 9. All right. So keep that in mind. That's their cage code. Noble Supply and Logistics. Guess what? They're also a small business, just like you and I. $100 million contract vehicle these guys just recently won. All right. Their cage code 1, Henry, Echo, Nancy, 9. That's Noble Supply and Logistics. You might want to jot that down as well. And third to the stage is SupplyCore LLC. All right, their cage code 4 Victor 314. Yeah, hey, I'm here in St. Louis, home of the 314. This is where I'm at, St. Louis. But anyway, that's SupplyCore LLC. Jot down these 3 cage codes, guys, and I'm going to show you some software that we utilize in order to help us do an analysis of these types of companies, because even though they got this big award, so there are no like actual, orders that I'm aware of that have come through as of yet with this new contract that they just got. But these companies have been selling to the DLA for many, many years. Let me show you a little bit of a hack of how we leverage some of this information. So you guys have probably heard me talk a lot about this software program called SEI Global. All right. Well, formerly SEI Global, now Intertech Inform. It's a third-party software tool that our company employs in order for us to kind of make sense of the DLA. All right. So there are two pieces of software that come with that: Logicom and Opportunity Manager. What I'm going to do real quick here is just kind of drop this in here. I'm just going to just put Noble Supply. All right. I'm just going to do a search for Noble Supply. I'm not going to do all three companies because I've already kind of prepped some of this work up already, but I'm just going to give you an idea. If you are just wanting to do analysis on a particular company that keeps on winning, you drop their company name in here, company name, Noble Supply. Boom. You click search. And what I do here is just make this like, the page results, make it 100. And you'll kind of start to look at some of the national stock numbers that are registered back to Noble Supply and Logistics. Now, keep this in mind. Noble Supply is only a distributor. They're like Granger. They are not a manufacturer. However, they have national stock numbers that are referenced back to them because these guys are a juggernaut in federal contracting. All right. Keep in mind, they are a small business as well. And these are some of the different types of products that Noble Supply has either sold or is registered in the DLA's national stock number database to sell. And this is, it says page 1. So there's only one page of national stock numbers. All right. Cool. I think the thing we really care about is their cage code, though. As you saw on screen there, Noble Supply is 1 Henry Echo Nancy 9. As you can see here, there's the cage code there. Hey, just to kind of fact check it a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and click that cage code there. Bring this guy in here, and you'll see just kind of highlighting Noble just real quick. I like to always know who the incumbents are, where they're located. Are they in my backyard? Are there any opportunity? Maybe, hey, maybe there might be in my backyard. Go knock on the door, do a little industrial espionage and kind of figure out who the competition really is. So if you guys are watching this video and you're located in the Boston, Massachusetts area, this is where Noble Supply and Logistics is headquartered. All right. So for all my East Coast folks, if you're on the East Coast and you're watching it, because it looks like we have 10 concurrent viewers and we got six likes. Come on, guys, let's get parity to the views. Give some parity. Hopefully that you're liking some of this because it stokes the YouTube algorithm and it helps to get the message out to a broader audience. So go ahead and send me some likes. It doesn't cost you anything to do it. But if you're on the East Coast and you're hailing in the Boston area, go ahead and drop me a comment in the chat to let me know that you're in that area of the country. But as we're scrolling down here, there is, as far as the stats on this business, the business size, it says A. When you click on the A, like nice little legend pops up here, and guess what? Under 500 employees. All right, so that's Noble, and the same applies for Atlantic Diving Supply as well as SupplyCore as well. All right, so just kind of scrolling through this a little bit. There's a website, noblesupply.com, if you're interested in learning a little bit more about the company. Start date is 1981, and it looks like they're up for renewal. Their SAM registration expires in January of 2025. So these guys are active. And so here are some of the FSC codes that they're registered under their SAM profile. And they may even have some of their NAS codes. Yeah, these are some of the NAS codes that they are registered under. I get a lot of student clients asking me, hey, is it really important for my NAS codes to be updated in order to get DLA awards? The answer to that question is no. As long as you have some NAS codes, the DLA doesn't really care so much about what's registered in your NAS codes are registered in SAM. However, if you do get a contracting officer that does care, typically they will reach out to you and ask you to update your SAM profile with the appropriate NAS code that they are going to be tracking the award against. But if you're just interested in kind of mirroring Noble Supply and just putting the same NAS codes within your profile on SAM, I highly recommend you do it, because if you're interested in beating hey, if you can't beat them, join them, right? So join them by registering your company under those same NAICS codes and kind of get a better understanding of what those NAS codes are all about, and making sure that you have an ability to operate within this arena. All right. So that's really important as well. But it's good to just kind of know how this company is registered, and they give a little bit more information about the company as far as who their certifying point of contacts are. Government points of contact look like Thomas Noble, I would imagine. The company is named after him, so he must be the owner of the company. Mr. Tom is a very rich man, in my opinion. So that's just a little bit of analysis of this particular company. Now, how do you use this information to your benefit? SEI Global, or Intertech Inform, I keep calling it SEI Global because I've been calling it SEI Global for like past 15 years. But Intertech Inform, they have the ability for you to set up what's called watch list and another piece of software that comes with your subscription called Opportunity Manager. And you'll notice in here, I just basically created these the other day. I created a profile for Atlantic Diamond Supply, and I created a profile for Noble Supply. Now, I didn't create a profile for SupplyCore because I wanted to kind of show you how you create profiles. And again, this is how you find winning drop shipping products, right? So let me just kind of show you how you would use software like this. And there may be other software programs out there. I think that's NSN Now and DIBBS Navigator. I'm not, I don't use that software, so I don't know if you can create watch lists like this. If you can, great. If you can't, this is a great software that helps you to kind of monitor the activities of some of these incumbent companies. But I'm just going to give you an idea of how we would do one for SupplyCore. All right, so I'm going to type SupplyCore LLC. All right, we're going to go ahead and create, and I'm going to put a little A here, hyphen, so I can make sure, because the way the watch list, they do it by an alphabetical order there. So I'm just going to just save it like that. So you see it auto generates in there when you click the save button. I'm gonna hit the radio button and I'm gonna go to setup now. All right, another little window pops up. All right, in the setup, I'm gonna go ahead and basically put in their cage code because I want to track any types of opportunities that may reference a SupplyCore as well as Noble Supply and Atlantic Diving Corp. You want to kind of track their cage code because every DLA solicitation that's issued references past procurement, right? And they will reference the cage code of an incumbent. So this is how you're able to kind of track some of the activities, some of those national stock numbers that these companies have won in the past. I think it's key to do this type of work. Well, actually, you know what? I'm gonna put in SupplyCore LLC. And what we're going to do here is drop their cage code right here, which is 4 Victor 314 like St. Louis 314. But anyway, so what I've just done here is created a watch list, and I've made my matching criteria type. And you'll notice in here, you can make criteria based on national stock numbers, their cage and part numbers, you name it, depending on how you want to cut it up. The software is very, very versatile, depending on how you want to access the type of information that comes with the software. But we're going to do it for the sake of today's training to say cage codes. Hey, and by the way, I don't see any comments in the comment section there. So if you guys got some comments, some love, throw me some heart emojis, give me some engagement, because I'm cooking in this kitchen right now. And I'd like to see some engagement. Let me know that you guys are not just sitting back, just relaxing and enjoying the show. Hey, show the DLA Guru a little love, man. Throw a little comment. Let me know that you're really tracking what you're eating what I'm cooking for one, and you're tracking on what I'm talking about. Or if I'm talking a little too fast, or if I missed something, let me know in the comments there, because hey, today's training is for you, my subscribers. And for those Brigadier General and Patreon members, if you guys are coming in a little late, if you missed the first part of this, you can find the StreamYard link. You know where you can find it in the community forum tab. It's especially designed just for you. You go into your Patreon profile, you click the community forum tab, click that link. It'll bring you over here into StreamYard, as well as my Brigadier Generals. It'll do the same thing over here on YouTube, bring you into my my waiting room here in StreamYard. And once I get a quorum of folks, because right now there's no one in here, so I will continue to train to my heart's desire until I get some of my Brigadier General and Patreon members in my StreamYard area today, because today is your day. You guys, hey, you basically support the channel on a monthly basis in order to have access to yours truly, DLA Guru. And for those of you who may be interested in joining us here in the Brigadier General community, in the comments, I've pinned it to the top. You will see a link that will allow you to join me as a Brigadier General, where if you like to talk with me today, hey, there is no registration period. I mean, literally, you click that, you invest in the content, you'll get about 16 videos that are in there. They're actually packed 2 hours long of just one-on-one training with a lot of Brigadier Generals and other Patreon community members in the past, where you'll have access to that members-only content that will both empower and inspire you for the DLA, for success with the DLA, I should say. All right, cool. So I want to just put that in there. Or hey, it looks like we got a comment from Brother Charles. Let's go ahead and throw that up here. He says, great stuff. I've been missing this. Just got my 19th win yesterday. Still learning. Oh my God, Brother Charles, that is what's up. Congratulations to you. I am so glad to hear that folks are like taking a look at at my content and they are getting involved. Hey, brother Charles, I would love to have you be a part of our DLA Vendor Network over in LinkedIn, man. Hey, let me go ahead and drop that in the chat there for you, brother Charles. I haven't seen your name before. I'm not sure if you're over here in LinkedIn, but it will be great for my DLA Vendor Network winners to all kind of hobnob and get together, man, and talk about their wins and just basically help, to inspire other folks to get involved and say, hey, man, if I can do it, you can do it. All right. So I just put a link in the chat there. Feel free to click that link and meet me over in LinkedIn. It's free to join, but hey, I don't accept everyone. You have to have a fantastic profile on LinkedIn. I have to kind of see a picture. I want to see your pearly whites. I want to see your educational background and your professional history in order to invite you over in StreamYard. So, brother Charles, I'm sure that you got what it takes in order to be a part of that community. So feel free to hit that link, brother, and I'll see you over in LinkedIn as well. Okay, so back to the regularly scheduled program today. Regularly scheduled program. We're talking a little bit about how we're going to leverage this information that we're getting here. All right. So let me bring my screens back up. I'm building it while I fly, the DLA guru. You know how I do it. Okay, cool. So we got SupplyCore in there. Now we need to actually, I'm missing one more window. Here's my window. All right, cool. So once you are able to put in your matching criteria, you click the save button there. And so what that does now, it says, okay, cool. We're going to start to monitor SupplyCore's cage code with any DLA solicitation that hits the DLA DIBBS internet bid board system. All right. This is where this watch list is going to be very effective for us, right? So I click the save button there. And so you'll see SupplyCore. Boom, it pops in there. Now, it says there are 0 matching opportunities because this software does a sweep every 24 hours. However, we can kind of 10x it a little bit by just dropping in SupplyCore's cage code in Opportunity Manager. So that's that 4 Victor 314 in the house. So we're going to drop in their cage code and just do a quick search. And you'll see as this software, it kind of brings it back. And hopefully you guys can see this on your screen there. Let me know if you're having difficulty seeing what I'm seeing here. But you'll see that these are active solicitations that are on DIBBS where the SupplyCore company has either been called out as a potential distributor, of it, as in like an approved source, and or they've won these solicitations in the past or won these contracts in the past. So you can see that they're selling, MRO, maintenance, repair, and operations equipment, eye bolts. They're doing filter assemblies, welding studs, shear bolts. They're doing all this kind of stuff that SupplyCore has done this in the past. All right. So that's active. Now, let me get back to Atlantic Diving Supply and Noble. Let me click on Noble because we kind of did a little deep dive in who Noble was. It's, the owner of the company is still connected to the company, which is awesome. They're just basically a representation of what you and I are doing as well. We are our own bosses and we're out here trying to make it happen. So let's go ahead and click on Noble Supply and let you see kind of how this software just makes life 10 times easier. All right. So right now, in the past, I guess, I think I set these watch lists up like 2 days ago. All right. So Noble Supply, in the past 48 hours or so, there have been 10 opportunities that have bubbled up into this watch list under their cage code. Right. And you'll see here, it tells you criteria, the matching criteria, cage code right there. All right. Matching criteria, cage code. That's our cage code. Right. So what I'm looking at now is saying, okay, cool. So there's a solicitation that's out on DIBBS right now for 1,500 O-rings, right? And then there's another one, 10 crank assemblies. All right, we got 67 spring tension washers that's active on DLA. And I'm going to go on DLA bid board system in a second to kind of show you how you can get more information on this kind of stuff as well. And I'm just kind of doing a random walk down Wall Street and seeing if any of these things would be kind of cool. I know a lot of folks are getting involved with the DLA and are setting up accounts with Fastenal and are getting into the fastener screws and bolt business as a way to enter into doing DLA contracting, which I highly recommend because, you got smaller items and it's, not so hard to kind of source those types of items, and you can kind of have it where you can control it versus getting big generators or big pumps and motors and things where you need fork trucks and move that stuff around. When you kind of get into the fastener business as a entry into the DLA, I highly recommend for newbies in it. And Brother Charles, man, I'm really, really interested with your 19 wins. Kudos to you again. Just interested in learning a little bit more about, you know, your journey and your entry into the DLA as well. Hopefully we can learn a little bit more about you over in the LinkedIn space community as well, man. But here, let's take a look at the machine bolts. All right, so I'm going to take this national stock number and we're going to go back over into Logicom. And so again, today's agenda is about how do you find winning dropship products. All right, cool. So we're getting into this particular innocent, and it's really interesting. This is a military standard, which means that this is a military specification bolt, meaning that you can't buy this bolt necessarily at Grainger or Fastenal. This is probably a bolt that you will have to have access to the technical control documents in order to manufacture this particular product, right? And I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a second, but what we're going to do is open up and do a little bit of a deep dive into this particular product. So we see it's a machine bolt, and there's a little bit more information in here. It tells you the unit of issue, the DLA buys this in quantities of each. And the thing I really kind of what I like about the software that we can click on drawings to see if Intertech Inform actually has drawings in their database. And right now it says no records found, but there's a 50-50 chance that you will find drawings within Intertech Inform, or you'll find them within C folders on DIBBS. And we'll do a deep dive on DIBBS in a second. But what I really care about is the procurement history. All right. So within the procurement history, because you want to find out, you know, is there a lot of volume? Is, you know, is the DLA buying a lot of this particular machine bolt? Is it really worth you getting involved with it? Guess what? Noble's involved with it. So it may be worth you learning a little bit about this product. And you'll see here, as far as the incumbent suppliers, Boeing Distribution Services is involved. We got Standard Aero Parts and Boeing Distribution Service. And so the DLA has been buying this boat since 2008. And you'll see by the quantity, not a lot of numbers. You know, the DLA isn't really buying a whole lot of this boat. The last time they bought it from Noble. They bought 36 of these boats. And there's a big chance that Noble probably has a stockade of these boats, right? They know that the warfighter will come a-calling, and maybe they're selling these boats not only to the DLA, they may be selling them directly to the U.S. military as well. You know, so the DLA, keep in mind, is a procurement arm for the U.S. military, but the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines, they can also buy direct. They don't necessarily have to buy everything through the DLA. All right. The DLA is a logistics support agency. So keep that in mind, too, if you're interested in getting involved in these types of products and you're trying to decide if you want to warehouse them. Yeah, you know, you just have to do the research. You have to, you have to go knock on some doors and figure out who are other potential customers of these products as well. And so, and I'm sure Noble has done a great job at doing that, right? So you'll see that they bought 36 of them. Well, the DLA bought 36 of them, and the award price was $2.58 per bolt. All right. So not a lot of, so you're not going to get rich with these types of opportunities, but you're just going to get involved. That will lead to a $100 million potential supply contract IDIQ award, as you guys have seen that Noble was able to, along with Atlantic Diving Supply and SupplyCore, was able to achieve. Right. So with that said, now I want to do a little bit of a deep dive on DIBBS. So you're like, hey, DLA Guru, I don't have access to all that stuff, man. I'm on DIBBS, so how do I handle this on DIBBS? Okay, no problem. We're going to get there. Now, as you guys know, if you're part of my training programs, I don't recommend that you try to do all this business just with DIBBS alone. You're kind of shooting yourself in the foot, because it's just so much information that's out on DIBBS. And if you don't have any third-party software to kind of help you manage all this, you're just going to be shooting your foot, man. You're just going to be going around in a circle. All right. So here we are on DIBBS, right? So a couple of things, they show that actually there are two opportunities here. They have one that has not closed since August that's still open for 194. And then they got another purchase rec. And so you'll see the PRs here, two different purchase recs that are out there. And they got another one that's closing on 1024. I highly recommend, if you were going after a product like this, to bid on both of them. But there's a chance that the DLA may cancel this one and award this one. I'm not exactly sure why they have them open for 2 or 3 months after the fact. I think the DLA is just understaffed. I think they just got more contracts to award than they got people to actually do the awards. But hey, I always say bid on everything you can, especially if you have access to it. Now, you may be saying, okay, this isn't a Fastenal item or a Granger item. It's a military specifications item. So you'll see this little, technical documents link. And as a matter of fact, let me copy this, and I'm going to take this over into my, I like Google Chrome. I have my account set up on Google Chrome. So I'm going to go on Google Chrome instead of doing that through Mozilla. So we're going to drop that URL there. And I'm just curious to see if these are, it says errors. It doesn't like to do that. You know, DIBBS is like, yeah, we're not gonna do it that way. I like you to do it the other way because it seems like I'm doing some cybersecurity type stuff with them. So we don't want to do that. So let's go back into Google Chrome, and we're gonna drop that in the send here into Google Chrome, do a search, and we're back to where we were in Mozilla. And so what I'm gonna do is click the Tech Documents button here. And a lot of folks say, hey, like, how do we get access to tech documents? The way you get access to the tech documents, you have to register for access to C folders. And the way you gain access to C folders, you read all this good stuff, make sure that you're following all the different ITAR and all this, all these terms and conditions as it relates to that. And they talk about user responsibilities. And here are the steps that you would apply or ask for access. Got to ask for access to C folders, and you just basically dial this 844 number at the bottom here in order to gain access to get a username and password. So we already have access to C folders. So I'm gonna go ahead and log into my profile on C folders here. And so once you get into C folders, again, we're trying to get access to the technical documents to build a product like this, that machine bolt. All right. And so what we'll do is click on the hyperlink here to download. Hey, guess what? I can show this to you today because it's not an export controlled document. Fantastic. All right. So what we'll do here, well, you know what? It says drawings, but I don't think that that's going to be a drawing. That's going to be a quality assurance document there. But here, let's click down. I don't believe we're going to get a download. I don't think we're going to get drawings on this guy here. But here, let me open this guy up. I can just tell because I look at these all the time. And whenever you see the QA, that's a quality assurance type of document. So this, a lot of times the DLA, will have what's called, military specifications, and it's going to be up to you to know what they need. And so you have to have access to companies that know how to translate all these different codes to know exactly what type of machine bolt this is going to be. Okay, why is this thing not responding? Here, I don't know what's going on here. All right, I'm gonna click out of that real quick. Yeah, it looks like my Google Chrome is freezing up on me here. All right, here, let me try that again. Well, not Google Chrome. No, that has nothing to do with Google Chrome. That's Microsoft. All right, so it's taking a little time for that to load for whatever reason. I think because I see all these heart emojis and stuff coming up over here on YouTube, which is pretty awesome. Thank you for the love, guys. Thank you. And pardon our dust because I don't know why my computer is not opening this folder right now. It's having some difficulty opening the folder. And I rebooted my computer before I went live too. It says not responding. So we'll go ahead and let Bill Gates do what he does to try to get that folder up and running. But in the meantime, let's see, do we have any oh yeah, we have a comment coming from Brother Charles there. He says, yes, he's joining. All right, thank you, Brother Charles. He's joining our DLA Vendor Network over there on YouTube. And I mean on LinkedIn, I'm sorry. And why it still says not responding, I don't know. But anyway, guys, what's happening here is that once you get this folder, we get it opened up, and I want you to take a look at that drawing to see if anything was going to be hot and heavy there. So I'm gonna bring this over on another screen, and maybe it'll populate after I kind of look at another opportunity. So let's go look at another opportunity here. All right, there was another one that was up here. It's like 1,500 O-rings. I'm really curious to see what goes on with that. And I don't have a lot of things running on my computer, so I don't know why I'm having an issue with the File Explorer not working. You know what? Here, let me bring this up real quick and stop the process. Maybe that'll help me. Let's see. Where is Windows Explorer? Let's see. Restart task. Maybe that'll help. Let's try that out, guys. Maybe that'll help us out there a little bit. All right. Sometimes you got to kind of kick the old computer in the butt there a little bit. All right, and let's go back on. Where was I at when it comes to my? Okay, I don't know what happened to my. There she is. Okay, cool. So let's try that one more time. Click here. See if we can download it again. Maybe I need a new download or something. All right. It looks like we're trying to download it now. Does it load today? I don't know. Building a Wi-Fi. You know how I do it, guys, right? All right. Yeah, it's still not working. So anyway, what we're going to do is see if we can find a drawing maybe here in Logicom, right? So I'm going to take this NSN for these O-rings because there's 1,500 of them. I kind of like that. And we're going to drop that guy in there too as well. Click a search. And so now we see a bunch of different vendors that right now that who was that? What company was that? What we're just looking at? Noble Supply. So yeah, who Noble Supply is repping. So we got General Dynamics, Oshkosh, Daimler Truck, Allison Transmission, Oshkosh. You know, so you got a bunch of different brands. So this is kind of give you an idea of, okay, Noble is doing business with these manufacturers, right? So first thing I'm going to do is click on here. We're going to go into their NIN, take a look at what this O-ring is all about. We're going to see the DLA biases and units of measure each. Watch, rinse, and repeat. That's what we do. Click on drawings. No drawings in Intertech Inform. We may have drawings over in DIBBS. And we're also going, oh yeah, another thing that I want to show you guys. You can click on technical characteristics. Sometimes you'll find technical characteristics for items. And there are no matches today on this one. But we're going to procurement history. And guess what? Here we go. Here we go. So you'll see, I'm just going to start from the bottom and work our way up. A lot of activity with this particular O-ring since 2008. All right, we got, you know, Halco, Elk Creek, and then we're just kind of moving up. Here's Atlantic, Detroit. And notice how you don't see them competing directly with SupplyCore and Atlantic Diving. You know, it seems like Noble is kind of in its own ecosystem here as far as competing. So, you know, these guys, you know, may have partnerships or something like that, non-complete clauses. Who knows what kind of relationships these three companies have with themselves. However, you'll see that the DLA bought these O-rings, 240 of them from Noble back in September, which was recently, and they bought 240 at $3.95 a pop. So there was no information as it relates to the product data on within SCI Global. What we're gonna do here is drop this NSN within DIBBS, because I'm curious to see a little bit more information about this product. You see there's no technical documents available, but let's go ahead and click on the solicitation itself. And for those of you who are my seasoned DLA vendors out there, you guys watch, rinse, and repeat. You know about all this. Looking at the solicitation document itself, so many different ways to kind of skin the cat. But hey, some ways you don't get scratched. But as we're scrolling down, we're going to be looking at Section A is going to give you all of the past award information there that you were also able to find using third-party software. But what I really care about now is Section B, because these O-rings, I'm really curious to find out which manufacturers do the DLA truly care about. And so they're showing you, there it is. It pops up. It took a little while for it to, yeah, Bill Gates finally woke up. All right, so here we were looking at those drawings that I downloaded. So let me go ahead and see if we can extract those drawings, and why it took forever to do that, I have no idea. But so boom, we're going to open up that. So hopefully you guys are tracking with me, not getting too confused, because I'm kind of bouncing around a little bit as things pop up. I'm just doing this on the fly. But I was telling you, like, this document that you download from C folders, I knew by looking at it that it wasn't going to be engineering drawings. These are going to be more quality assurance documents, right? So here, let me double click on that. And that's going to open that one up. And then let me double click on the second one. So it's like a little package of two documents in one. All right. So that very first one I double clicked on, you'll see here is this contract data requirement list cover. You know, it's not giving you a whole lot of information there. You know, sometimes I wonder why the DLA even gives, you know, provides that kind of stuff, because it just really doesn't help you do anything. But this contract data requirements list, it's just basically boilerplate information. It doesn't really help you to know how to manufacture these items, right? So the way that I would look at it, it looks like Boeing Distribution Services was also a company that won this product in the past. You know, so if you have a relationship with some of the aircraft manufacturing companies, that's where I would go and kind of start talking about military specifications, because a lot of times those companies have that archival data in their possession. DLA will always come back, especially if you reach out to the C-folders folks and you say, hey, I don't have the actual drawings. I need the drawings. They'll say, we don't own them. You got to go to the OEMs, to an OEM, or you just got to know what the world you're doing. So Noble has been around for a long time, and they have probably relationships with manufacturers that know how to interpret the military specifications in order to manufacture those products, is what I would say there. All right. Hey, we got Adrian in the building here. Let me go ahead and do a little search there. He says, Adrian, first question of the day. Thank you, Adrian. Let me go ahead and give you a round of applause, because I got a question in. This is what I've been looking for, a question. And right now, guys, I don't have any brigadier generals and our Patreon members that have showed up today. So, I'll continue to talk until, I'm here till about, well, I'm not going to talk in these YouTube streets until 1, but I'll probably hang out and fill a few more questions. And then I'll hang out within StreamYard until 1 o'clock. So for those of you who may be checking this on the replay, feel free to click that link and meet me over here as a brigadier general, and we can do a deeper dive into what you may be working on. It's something about camming up and micing up and being able to communicate and see each other. I think you can just learn more than just sending messages in the chat there. But hey, brother Adrian, thank you for the message there anyway. It says, Mr. DLA Guru, we're facing some challenges trying to establish partnerships with vendors or manufacturers. Yes, that is part of government contracting, but that's a great challenge, and don't give up. It's the first step. The first thing that I put to a challenge should always keep you moving forward and saying, you know what, I got to find a way to skin this cat. All right. So next question, or next sentence, they're just aren't playing ball right now. Any recommendations for us on how to turn this around? Okay, great. So I started answering the question before actually reading the full question. And so my answer is really that. Oh, hey, we got a brigadier general in the building. Yoshi is in the building. All right, Yoshi, is good to see you, brother. All right, so hey, I'll be switching off this in a second, so I can go ahead and spend the lion's share of my time with you today. But to answer your question, brother Adrian, what this is really going to be about is being tenacious, right? So you may get some manufacturers that say, hey, you know what? This isn't our first rodeo. You're one of 1,000 companies that's reached out to us. And I think a lot of these companies have either, matter of fact, there was a manufacturer that we recently partnered with, and we're working on a contract right now. And I was really interested in seeing if there's a way that we can establish a more, one-on-one, like a manufacturing license agreement with this particular manufacturer. We want to be that source for this manufacturer. And they basically flat out, the president of the company said, hey, a few years ago, we tried that with another company, didn't work out very well for us. So they just weren't really privy on doing any licensing arrangements. They're just like, hey, that's just not part of our business. Let's see how this goes. And maybe in the future, we may be able to have that discussion in the future. But as of right now, boom, brother Adrian, you may be running into some of that where those manufacturers are just kind of burned, or, they're working with companies that didn't pay them and things like this, And so what happens is that these companies say, hey, we're going to work with companies that are reliable, that we, like you're going to do business with people, like, and trust. All right. So one thing that I would recommend is that if that's a company that you're like, hey, I really want to be a part of them, find out if they are being, if they have trade shows, see if they are, if they're putting up booths around the country, and go where they're at, instead of just being on the phone, like literally knocking on their door saying, you're not going to get rid of me until you give me a seat at the table. And you want to make sure you're proving the value add proposition. Because keep in mind, as resellers working in this space, you want to have the hat on that you are a value added reseller, that you're not just buying their product, drop shipping it, and you're just making the margin. You want to show that you are able to bring new business to them, not just DLA business, but other business, that commercial business to them, other military installations. And if you have a socioeconomic distinction, that is like Hub Zone, 8A, woman owned, veterans disabled small business, or something of that nature, that you have that certification that then can also start the conversation about, hey, this is how we can add value. And give a competitive advantage for your product working with us to sell to the federal government. So those are some of the avenues, just kind of 35,000 foot level of what I recommend that you kind of wrap your mind around of how you can try to prove value. Now, keep in mind, some vendors are just saying no. They already have their core distribution centers set up. They have their tier 1 distributors in place. They've been, they have the relationship. They've been doing business with them for the past 10, 20 years. It's just what it is, man. That's just not the lane that you can be in. But guess what, man? Not to fret. The DLA has over 5 million national stock numbers. There are companies that are coming and going all the time. During the pandemic, we lost a ton of vendors that we were working with. They just went belly up because of the pandemic. So it's always a reshuffling of the deck. All right. So keep that in mind too. Every 6 months or so, hey, go knock on the door again, shoot them an email, see if their policy has changed. Just never give up is my biggest recommendation. It's just, I think the companies like Noble Supply and Atlantic Diving Supply Company and SupplyCore, I think that these companies have just figured out how to get that done, guys. So that's what I would recommend. Hopefully that adds a little value to your question there. You asked a little value. Hey, and for those of you who are new to me again and new to the DLA, and you're just like, hey, I heard about government contracting, I heard about SAM.gov, not sure about the DLA, I'm not sure if I got what it takes. Is our DLA vendor network right for you? As Brother Charles said, he won 19 contracts. I think it's right for everybody to take a swing at the plate, all right? And if you're interested in learning how you might be able to position your company for success with the DLA, I offer a 15-minute pre-screening phone call where you can literally have a phone call with yours truly, the DLA guru, for 15 minutes. We can talk anything related to your business, kind of where you are in your business cycle. And then I can, ask some pointed questions to kind of figure out if I think the DLA may be a good customer for you from a product distribution, a drop ship product distribution services perspective. That 15 minutes phone call, I think, was going to be well worth it. A lot of folks have been taking advantage of talking to me, so I can kind of give them some direction, some ideas, some inspiration. If I think my training programs if the DLA will be a good customer for your business. All right. I think that might be something great. What I'll do is drop this in the chat now so that for those of you who are new to me and new to my chat, take a look at the chat. I just dropped the link. Feel free to bookmark that, and you can line up on my schedule and we can talk a little bit about what it is that you're looking to do with the DLA. And like Brother Charles, I recommend joining my members only DLA Vendor Network. It's by invite only over on LinkedIn. I think it's a great place where you'll start to get a little bit more information about the DLA. I'm starting, I think we got about 60 members in that vendor network now, and it's free to join on LinkedIn. But the prerequisite is you got to have a professional profile. If you don't have a picture, you don't have any credentials, you're not going to be accepted into the network, because I only want professionals over there on LinkedIn, because we're going to be doing a lot of things with government officials, that is with the DLA. If you guys look at my profile, I have first tier connections with a lot of DLA folks that I'm going to be inviting in to have discussions about what the DLA is doing, because they're looking for a few proud men and women like you to support the DLA's mission in supporting the U.S. military and our warfighter abroad. All right, so that's that there. Now, I've been talking a little bit about DLA training programs, and I don't like to spend a lot of time talking a lot about them, but I do offer a 360-degree DLA contractor training program. A lot of folks have taken advantage of the training program and have kind of got some toolage in order to hit the ground running. Within my 360-degree training program, you'll get a pre-award masterclass. I call it the 8 steps to federal supply contract bid submissions to the DLA. It's going to give you everything you need to know about hitting the ground running, on how to successfully bid on DLA contracts. And within the 360-degree training program, you're also going to get a post-award masterclass. It's called the 4 steps to post-award processes to successfully complete supply contracts with the DLA. So after you get a contract, like Brother Charles has gotten, and hopefully, Brother Charles, your contracts you've got 19 of them, so that must mean that you know what you're doing. But for those of you who may just kind of want to make sure that you are just executing your contracts correctly, because you don't want your products to get caught up in storage room B because you forgot to package, label, and invoice correctly, this is what that masterclass is all about. And last but not least, EJCP certification, sort of kind of what we were just doing earlier, where I was having some technical difficulties in downloading technical documents. But a lot of times when you click that technical documents link, they're going to be export control documents that if you don't have EJCP certification, you will not have access to those types of documents. And a lot of times those are engineering drawings that you will be able to study those drawings, work with manufacturers to get items manufactured. That is custom manufacturing, very similar to that machine bolt that we were just talking about. That's a military specification product, although it's not export controlled, at least the documents that the DLA had on C folders, but the bolt itself may potentially have some export control restrictions on it, or ITAR restrictions, that if you go talk to Boeing or the other companies that can make those type of components, will say, hey, yeah, this is ITAR controlled. You know, we can't sell it to you unless you sign this document in blood and that kind of thing. So that's what the EJCP certification is all about. It'll kind of give you the know-how of that. And last but not least, for those of you like Brother Charles who are interested in maybe scaling your business and just like growing a network within your organization of other folks that can kind of help you bid, because the key to winning with the DLA is to bid and bid often in order to win these contracts and to become like the SupplyCore and, you know, the Noble Supply and Logistics vendors of the world. Because guess what, guys, we are working on trying to be like those companies as well. We love to be on $100 million IDIQ contract award vehicle, and that means you're going to have a network in order to support the warfighter at that level. And so that's what this whole community, my DLA vendor network, and, you know, the YouTube community is really all about, because I'm searching for a few proud men and women to be a part of this organization that I'm trying to put together at ground floor. I don't think anybody in the YouTube streets is talking like this, guys, as it relates to the DLA. And, you know, if you can probably tell, just watch some of my videos on my channel, I'm really, really serious and committed to making this a home run win for those of you who want to support the DLA. Because I always say, my motto is, never think about what the DLA can do for you. Think about what you can do for the DLA. If you think warfighter first, warfighter always, you will be successful in being able to win contracts with the DLA. So my interactive DLA vendor workshop is really all about that. It's for seasoned DLA vendors who have won a few contracts and are interested in scaling it. It's a 3-day workshop where we'll cam up and mic up on Zoom, and we'll talk. I have an action-packed curriculum where I basically take you through of how I scaled my business and was able to build a team of DLA professionals where we're bidding on contracts. Guys, I very rarely bid on contracts nowadays. I have my team bidding on contracts. That's really where you want to get. You want to get to a point where you don't have to sit there and bid them. You want to train other folks in your organization to bid them. And this is what my interactive DLA vendor training workshop is really, really all about. All right. You can find all this stuff at the link that you see on the screen there at nms-e-learning-systems.thinkific.com. And you can also find it at www.thedlaguru.com, which will basically redirect you to this Thinkific platform. But that's a lot for you to remember. You're driving, you're like, man, I can't remember all that. Hey, man, just search for me, just www.thedlaguru.com, and you can find me there as well. All right, cool. So, as you guys know, I love to talk, man, and I got a brigadier general that's in the waiting room. They're patiently waiting, and today is their day. So I just wanted to kind of get through my presentation for those of you who may be new to me. Thank you again for watching my content. Thank you for watching today's live stream presentation. Thank you again for some of the comments that are there. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to field all those comments, but hey, brother Adrian, recommend that you join us as a brigadier general so you can kind of come on over and be a part of this community as we put our heads together and figure out how to win and win big with the DLA. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I will see you guys at the top.